Everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast 151. Big Box Steve on the mic, the Big Smooth and Fresh Wes with the armband. Looks like you just came back from the doctor. Wes,
Hmm?
I said your
What?
armband looks like you just came back from the doctor getting blood drawn or something.
I thought it looked more like he just got back from the tennis courts.
Oh,
Maybe a little racquetball.
we play pickleball these days.
Yeah.
I never played it, but apparently people love it.
I played it back when I was like like in young, back in the day, and then like, oh, now it's like, oh, it's super popular. I'm like, okay.
Wild. Everybody's pickleball star now.
Yeah, where was it? Somewhere they're like building like a huge pickleball court, like I think here in Gresham. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good use of resources.
Yeah.
Get some pickleball going. All right, well, we're gonna get in tonight to talk NFL, just kind of recap the draft, get our movie review, and then first though, you brought this up earlier, so let's talk about what the big hype is around the internet these days. I mean, I saw it on like news channels talking about, like ESPN talking about it. I'm like, this is crazy. And so apparently the big thing, so we'll get that out of the way. It's like it's 100 men versus one silverback full-grown gorilla, just to make sure you understand what you're going against. And so this is for some reason it's a big debate. People love this stuff. It's kind of like the bear in the woods, would a woman rather run into a random bear, a random man? It's kind of the same thing, right? It's a pointless thing, but that's what people love. So my thought though, like when you first like the eye test wise, when you think about it, you look at a grill, you watch them, you know what they're capable of with their how much they can lift and how strong they are and their teeth and all this stuff. You're like, no shot, right? Like that was my initial thing, right? Like how could you possibly? So just from the eye test, what do you guys think? Like just outside looking in 100 men versus the grill, like what's your thoughts?
Well, if it's 100 and they're all going at him at once, it's going to overwhelm them, right? I mean, some of them are going to die. Let's get that out of the way. That's gonna be the cannon fodder, but then you like have people grabbing at the legs, and taking the legs out, and then
Yeah, you get him on the ground, but what are you smothering him? Like how you killing him?
curb stomps once you get them on the ground.
Just gonna just try to stomp him out. Like his
Yeah.
skin is literally like leather.
Well, if you got like 50 men on top of them, then you just have, they can't go anywhere.
You are limited in space though, right? You can't get
Yeah,
all 50 on at one time.
right.
What do you think, Wes? What's your eye test on it? 100 men.
Well, this has been on my mind for quite a few days because there's nothing else to think about than this for me. Um, I, yeah, it's kind of like the infantry, like who are the people that are going to probably die first? If there's 100, it's like, you're like, okay, you want five or six of them that are like really motivated to actually the ones that really feel strongly about the subject, right? You put them up there front first so they can storm, and then you're gonna probably lose three to seven, eight of them, and then you probably could get him down with 20 or 30 maybe. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of broken bones, damage done.
You got to be committed to the cause, man. Like, because that for the first, those first couple guys in, especially like when he gets really pissed off, right? And then he starts ripping arms off. Like, you got to be committed.
No, you gotta cheat. You gotta inject him with something like like fentanyl, you know?
That might be even worse. I mean, you may
I mean,
eventually
wait a
give him
minute,
a
they're
heart
doing that
attack.
at OH. Remember, they're doing that at OHSU. I should stop
Right.
with the monkeys.
So
Oh,
horrible.
well,
Yeah, you. that's the other issue is like if you do start like hurting him, right? Doesn't he then have like a crazy adrenaline thing, life fight, fight or
Yeah.
flight thing that
Yeah,
goes off that really good? Then now he's a mad
yeah.
silverback gorilla and
He
fighting for
might
his
kill
life,
25 in 10 seconds.
right?
That's his last, Yeah, I don't think I want to be on the roster to test
Yeah.
out whether I
Well,
think it's a really bad idea.
statistically, 100 sounds like a lot, right? But what I see is the problem is there's only so much space around him, right? 100 guys aren't going to get a punch on him, right? You're really going to only have maybe 10 to 15 in that circle.
No, you got to do some backwoods stuff, man. Like again, it's like you need someone on his back. It's like it's almost like remember when Princess Leia like choked Jabba the Hutt with a chain? You need like three of
So
those people just to try to choke him.
Well,
John
come
Jones
on.
is going to submit him.
It t the plan is already there. Yeah, it's just like any like WWE match where you have a giant person and then a small person. You go and you take out the legs.
Right.
You take the
Sweep the
knees.
legs.
Yes, you sweep the leg. They can't walk. They can't lift up
No,
very high.
Right.
Go for the legs.
it's like you need Anderson Silva, Spider, go after the legs.
Yeah.
I
You
would
need
just being like just kicking
elbow,
legs.
just like five people just do a knee to the face.
Yeah, then you got
Gouge
to
his
keep
eyes
him
out.
down, right? So like you're gonna have to like break his legs
This is
because
animal cruelty just to talk about this.
it is kind of animal cruelty. Like
I
that's what's
feel
wrong with
bad
these
now.
people.
Do not inject like animals with fentanyl, please. Do
You
not.
guys are all everybody's all talking about like you know helping people and
Yeah.
humanity. Now you guys are
So
talking about killing a gorilla?
I guarantee you, while we're doing the podcast, I will see a commercial about Save the Gorillas here.
Right.
Like it will be on here. Save everything else. Next is gonna be the gorillas.
So well let's say it's possible and but so Derek, I think this is a good your thing because I've heard this on sports. I hear it on ESPN. They were talking about what type of people are going on this. So if we had to choose 10 football players, past or present, 10 on one, I don't think they're winning, by the way. But what 10 football players would be the toughest or the guys you would want
Oh,
you would send into that battle, right? And so, and we don't have to each individually name our 10, but let's think about put together a 10 as a group. Um, so I'll start with like one that I would definitely put in there, and it would be Larry Allen. So the reason I'm taking Larry Allen, dude, is because he benches, as much as the gorilla, right? He's like one of the strongest bench guys ever, and he benches the 225. He did it like 50 times or whatever, at the
Yeah.
combine, and he's big. So you need a big
Well,
dude.
when he was playing, I think he's lost tons of weight now. But
Well, yeah.
when he was in his peak playing days, yes.
I'm taking well these guys. I don't think you want any 70-year-old dudes, right?
No.
So I'm assuming we're taking peak time guys,
Well, I got a lot of people that have passed away on my list, so
right? So you really don't want them on your team.
yeah. And
All right,
like what we were talking about, and want some crazy, right?
right. You need somebody who's a little bit, but yeah, you need to have senses, but you also need somebody who's just gonna go wild. So I'll throw Larry Allen in there as one of mine.
I'm gonna go John Matuzak.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's good as pick as anyone, right? Like if you're looking for somebody who's going to go crazy,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be committed to the cause, like we said.
Yeah.
Throw one in there, Wes.
Jack Lambert.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
he's on
He's
my list too.
he's just nuts. I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't have any teeth, anyways.
Right.
Like, go ahead and hit me in the face. I already lost all my teeth.
Yeah, and he would definitely be bought in, right? He's one of those guys that you give him a mission and he's going to accomplish it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's like, I'll go first. It's like I like you too much for you to go first. You need someone that we don't like to go first. Come on, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely on my list. Another one that I had to throw in there is Mean Joe Green.
Yeah,
Again, like the size, he's big, but he's good with his hands. Can keep him at a
yeah.
distance.
I think there's that psychological warfare like element to it. I would throw in Ed Too Tall Jones because he's like 6'8", 9,
Right,
and
right.
he's big. But I don't think that's really effective against a gorilla that much. He just might be a little bit too big, but still, maybe you can. It's like when they tell you like, hey, when you see a bear, kind of like go like make yourself bigger.
Right.
Maybe Ed Too Tall Jones can do that. He can make the gorilla think for a second, and then you can rush him. Then you have LT on one side. You got like, you know, Tom Jackson. Ooh, Tom
Tom
Jackson is
Jackson, I
on my
like
team,
that.
dude. Tom
He's
Jackson. He's not that big, but he's an animal.
he's gonna tackle blindside him.
Oh yeah.
He's good on that outside linebacker. What do you got, Derek?
Well, another crazy Alzado, Lyle
Oh,
Alzado.
Lyle Alzado, yeah. That was the first person I thought of actually when you're like, who do you want? And I'm like, well, who's the craziest person I can think of that played in the NFL?
You put Matuzek and Alzado out there together.
No, I already got it. No, it's a wrap. Done. Romanowski.
Oh,
Oh,
Romanowski.
Romanowski, dude. It's a wrap. He's going first. And you know what? He won't die.
Well, he'll keep going is the thing. He'll get
Yeah.
bloody and he'll still
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Harrison is someone I'd want in there, right? Because he's strong, he's smaller though.
Yeah.
He's not as big as some of the other dudes, but he's bulky and like he could get those legs, right? He's shooting the legs, trying for the takedown.
Oh, what Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, yeah, he's the other one on
Ray
my
Lewis,
list.
yeah.
see,
Just
and I'm going for some missiles. I got a tandem, Jack Tatum from one side, Ronnie Lott from the other.
I'll
There
take
you
Ryan
go.
Lott.
Just, I mean, it sounds good on paper though, but just imagine trying to like a gorilla coming over the middle of the field, you're a safety, and you're trying to hit him. Like, it don't matter if you're Ronnie Lott, dude. It doesn't matter if you're,
Well, dude, it's perfect because Lott goes for the legs, Tatum goes for the throat,
right.
clothesline.
I mean, you could throw in Steve Atwater if you're looking for that type of hit.
Atwater, yeah. Atwater would go heads first.
I definitely thought Lawrence Taylor, I'd throw him in there. Dick Butkus. Let's see. Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
So he's relentless, right? He's not going to give up on the fight.
Larry Zonka.
Yeah, Zonka.
I mean,
Uh,
Larry Zonka, like he's up in Alaska right now, like hunting bear. I mean,
Well, let him do it with his hands and then tell us how it went.
well, that's when he is a player. He can do it.
uh, I want somebody who doesn't care about being injured and still fighting. And that's Jack Youngblood.
Yeah.
Dude played a game on a broken leg. Think he could go out there and still.
Well, you're going to get a broken leg, an arm, and a head,
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff.
You gotta keep going.
Let's just admit though, like if you're looking at this, the '70s players had a better chance than any other
Yeah,
generations.
Oh, yeah.
isn't it funny? We haven't like named. There's only like Kittle. I'd say I want Kittle because he looks backwoods. Like he's done some crazy stuff, And then,
No, it's real though. Who would you actually take from like today's NFL, like in this
well, I mean,
scenario?
there's I don't know. Well,
Maybe Max Crosby?
yeah, Max Crosby definitely there. If I, oh yeah, totally. He's up front. Like
I mean, there's definitely still some big guys. I just don't. They don't remind me of the tenacity of some of the older players. And then maybe it's a different league, of course. And
Well, it's because of the rule changes. You can't see the
yeah,
big hits. Who was
But
it? But I showed you that clip, but from the Florida game way back. But Major Wright,
oh yeah,
here's the thing. It's like maybe what you want to do is you want to sacrifice somebody from the newer players. Like you put like who do we sacrifice? And then he gets them distracted,
right.
right?
here, Dak
So
Prescott, go out
no,
there.
no, no.
Or
You
let
gotta
me
have somebody that can move around, dude. You need to.
let me go to my all hates roster here.
We're
Who do
gonna
we
have to
sacrifice?
sacrifice, dude. You're gonna have to sacrifice like Saquon.
No,
You
no, we're
got to
not.
because look, he's quick, he's mobile, he moves around. He's gonna do a
Dude, he's
reverse
on my
hurdle over
fantasy
the
team
gorilla.
already.
Hey, if we're talking about someone to sacrifice and not a good dude, we'll talk about Tyreek Hill. He can move around.
Yeah,
Ida.
be running through his legs and around him. I don't know. So I mean, we named a lot of good players or a lot of guys, but just 10 though, no shot though, right?
You never know. Just got to get the legs,
Sweet
sweep the
boy.
legs.
Yeah. We have to we definitely need someone from like Oxford to tell us the best angle, like it has to be pressure points and it has to be a lot of physics.
Yeah,
So there's
Like
going to be an analytics department for this.
right.
dude, it is we're creating the all gorilla team.
All gorilla team. I like
It's like
that.
it's like all Madden but better. All
I'll pull a short out for the all gorilla team and
no.
list them under the description. All right, well, let's get off the gorilla topic. It's crazy though, isn't it, that it's just trending so much right now
Dude,
that
that's like the last 2 days, even on the wires, it's on
yeah,
there. Like
it's on like national news. Like what there's
it's
nothing better for you guys to talk about.
everyone's so angry. They're just like, hey, let's just talk about this.
Yeah. Let's talk about killing a gorilla or 100 men.
Hey,
Uh,
who knows? Back in the Roman days, they probably could have done something like that.
Uh-oh,
yeah,
Ant-Man's hurt. Ant-Man's hurt. Oh, he's got
something
cramps.
in the
Oh,
arena, right? They're out there in the Coliseum.
Yep.
yeah. Well, that's what this is. And like, trust me, like 10, 15 years, I mean, we'll be sitting around and watching some of this stuff.
Well, it's going to be like Idiocracy, right?
It's
Right.
idiocracy, dude.
They'll pull up the internet and they'll be like, "Hey, this was an interesting idea they had years ago.
Let's
Let's
do it.
try that."
Yeah. They're gonna pull up the podcast like these guys really figured out something here.
Okay, so let's jump into draft here as well. Obviously, we talked a little bit about this last week, but we didn't see where Shadur was going to land, and so that's a big topic around the draft. I mean, what do you think about that? One, going to Cleveland. Two, going in the fifth round.
I mean, I like Shadur. I was texting you guys pissed that the Raiders didn't get him in like the fourth or whatever, because I'm like, why not? It's good value. But man, when you overplayed your hand big time, it's like you didn't, maybe you should have done the combine and done the workouts and done all this stuff so people will. And they played it like, oh, we are like the best player in the draft. And obviously, other teams didn't think so. And please stop with the BS of like it's a collusion thing.
Oh, I know.
NFL owners, they want to win. NFL coaches and GMs want to win. If they think you can help, no one cares. If you are really, really good, no one cares about how bad of a person or what about you. Think we've how many players have we had where it's like, oh, well, that person was arrested or something. Oh well, just look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They keep getting all these players. Rasheed Rice, oh, nothing's happening to him. Who cares? Let's get another player. We'll just keep getting. It's all about
Right.
winning.
So if I mean that's the case, right? Then why does he drop to 5? Because talent-wise, I mean, most analysts had him up, as the number 2 quarterback at the first round pick. Us as a group, I think we all agree that he's a good quarterback and thought he would go in the first or late early second, right?
Well, I think what it came down to is this. Teams like the Giants and the Browns weren't looking at this draft. They want to go to the other drafts. Other teams are looking at, okay, you're going to be a backup. Do I want to deal with the headache that you might cause as a backup, or do I want to go in a different direction? And I think that's the key is a lot of the teams got their quarterbacks already. Like the Raiders, they went in draft or traded for Geno Smith. If they wanted to have done that, who knows? They probably would have drafted Shadur in the first round. Who knows?
Yeah, it's and the thing about the Browns is, I mean, now, I mean, of course he goes to the Browns. Like nobody really talked about the Browns before. Now, people are like, I see every day, every morning, it's like, will Shador be? Will Shador has a good chance to start every single day? It's like, are we going to do this for like 4 months?
Yeah.
Like every single day. And I'm just saying to myself, who really cares? It's like I don't care if he starts or if he goes to the UFL. I don't care. It's like everybody talked about so much, like the last 3 weeks, that I think even the owners are like, geez, are we really going to put this guy on our team? The distraction he's going to be without even playing.
Yeah.
We're going to questions every day. Oh, does he have a good chance to start? Or I mean, what is he? He's going to compete with Cody Pickett for second string. That's what's going to happen.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, they drafted Dylan Gabriel too.
Yeah, but he's not going to be second string.
They're
Well,
actually
he was a
ahead
third
of.
round pick.
What is that? What is that? Is that Varsity? Yeah, Varsity Blues was like, you're going to be second string all your life, boy. That's Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, but don't you think most teams have more leeway with a third rounder compared to a fifth rounder? Like if you're a GM and you draft someone in the third round, you're going to give them every opportunity to
Yeah.
prove that
Oh,
you're
it's
right.
great. I think it was really smart with I mean, it was a no-brainer for the Browns. I mean, the Raiders, like I said, I was so mad in the fourth round. They should have done it because, okay, that Geno Smith potentially is going to get hurt at some point next season. If not, great. But if he gets hurt, Shador can play, and we could see if he can actually play. And then if you don't really like him, you can trade him, and you could probably get a third or second rounder for him. You don't lose anything by getting him. And the way that they drafting him in the fifth round, it's like
Fifth round, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's a steal for the Browns because here's the thing with and I'm not a huge Travis Kelce fan, but he said something that I thought was really interesting. He said like if this doesn't motivate Shadur to like really want to play well and play hard and show everybody he's better than a fifth round pick, nothing will motivate him, right? And I kind of agree with that take. Is that I think this will motivate Shadur to come out and try to win that starting job.
yeah,
And I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to beat him out. I don't think he's as good as Shadur. I
in the
think
right, But here's the thing: they did draft Dylan Gabriel ahead of him,
yeah,
which I thought was really interesting. It's like, okay, they saw that Dylan Gabriel under the right conditions, Dylan Gabriel could be a good NFL quarterback, but they have to be the right. I mean, look at the Ohio State game; those are the wrong conditions,
yeah,
and they got beat down. Like he has to get outside the pocket, and he has to buy time, and then he could pick teams apart. But if he can't do that, he's ineffective. You give him he's not very big.
right.
So I think, yeah, I mean, look at all the plethora of quarterbacks like that they have to, mess around with. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that Cody Pickett. I mean, Cody Pickett technically has a winning record. I just don't think he's a starter. But Flacco is like 100.
Right.
I mean, it's just it would be talk about a hard knocks right there. Like
I mean,
hard knocks.
they might be in Cleveland.
Dude, It just dirty. That's going to be like they should do it.
I
Did
would.
you,
You
did,
think about it.
so Cleveland, are they going to get rid of Nick Chubb? They got it,
Yeah.
right? Dude,
They
did you see
they
that video today?
it's almost a done deal, it looks like that
Dude, he
Chubb's
looks
gone.
healthy. He's like jumping over those hurdles, like broad jumping. I'm like, Jesus, dude. It just hurts looking at that.
Well, the rumor is he's going to an NFC
Yeah,
I saw
North
that
I
too.
saw that too.
a North team, which would be funny because I was really disappointed that they didn't grab, a big running back when they had a chance. And not big as in like high up in the draft, but just a bigger dude, to kind of offset
Oh, that
for,
totally
for
changes
Johnson's
you guys.
offense.
That totally changes your whole season if he goes there.
It gives you that thunder and lightning that you're looking for with your running backs, right? Between Swift and Chubb. So that, I mean, Roshan Johnson's not bad and he can fill that role, but not like Chubb could, or one of the, you know, good backs you could have gotten this draft. So that's interesting though, and it's I'm on the same feeling as Derek, which is that these guys are businessmen. They want to win, right? They're going to do what's best for the team, regardless of the guy's attitude or his father or whatever. And so the drop to me is weird, right? To fifth round. That's what's so weird to me. It's that far of an actually very talented player.
Well, I hate to say it too, but maybe NFL scouts and stuff have a different opinion than ESPN talking heads, right? I mean, we know that like the ESPN people are just loving Colorado. So why not being like, dude, like, did you see like how unprofessional Mel Kiper was?
Yeah, well, he's always been a little unprofessional.
I know, but this was like, it's like, dude, Mel Kiper,
Yeah,
you're not an expert.
right.
You said Brady Quinn was going to be like a superstar quarterback. So shut up with your, oh, you haven't been able to draft quarterbacks for 50 years. They don't know what they're doing. And like you do.
Well, I love Kuiper because then when you're predicting, you just do the opposite.
Right.
You have something to go off of. I don't,
Well, even somebody made a
Oh,
comment on one of ours, and they were trying to compare like Johnny Manziel, even, right?
oh, jeez.
And even Manziel, though, only slipped to like late in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. He was talking about Baker Mayfield. I'm like, dude, that was the number one overall pick. He was
Right.
not a fifth round talent.
Well, I think he was saying that that's what their talent level was, and they got
Yeah.
picked at a different level, but I do think that like the Johnny Manziel, Shadur Sanders gives you the same type of vibe, right? Of distraction and not, you may not want him on your team, but
Maybe that's why the Browns waited till the fifth round because they'd already
Yeah.
gone through it with Johnny Manziel.
right.
Yeah. It's there's just a lot of like, what was Stephen A. Smith? Oh, this is about Dion. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's about him.
And then
It is kind of about Dion because Dion's going out there saying, well, there's maybe some teams we won't, we don't want to play for. Okay, that didn't help. That's not going to help at all. Okay, then you're like thinking, okay, are we one of those teams?
we
And
said that about the Browns.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the freaking Browns, and look what happens.
And he gets drafted there.
By the
Well,
Browns.
and then the funny thing is, like, you can't compare Shador to Manziel. Hello, Manziel was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he went out and beat like Alabama and actually won games, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at record wise, but I still talent wise, I think they're similar as
well,
players.
yeah. Now hindsight, since Manziel's out of the league, and
I think Shadur is a talented quarterback. I mean, and then it's not from an analyst position. It's not from there. I've watched him play. I've seen him quite a few Colorado games last year. I've seen tape on him, and I think he's a good quarterback. So it's just there is some mystery around it to me of that far of a drop, right? I could, second, third round, I'd have been like, yeah, it makes sense. Attitude problems, whatever. But
He was sacked a lot. His line play wasn't great. Some of that was his fault, but there's so many times I've seen where he evaded the rush and he threw on the run very well.
right
Like
outside the pocket,
when he had to improvise, he was very good at improvising but sometimes he wasn't good. But when you're pressured that much,
Yeah.
you're not gonna bat 1,000. You're gonna make some bad throws.
Well, I think the big thing is he might be talented, but is he starting quarterback talented? And the thing is a lot of these teams that already have starting quarterbacks don't want the headache of him being their backup.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
well, I he could start for some teams in the NFL. I mean, quickly, especially if like if Derek Carr is hurt, he's got a shoulder problem. I
Right.
thought that was a good situation. I'm not Tyler Shu or Shuck or whatever you want. I don't even know what to call him. Tyler from Oregon is always hurt. You take a quarterback in the 40th pick, and he's been injured for 3 years. That's kind of a risk there when you have someone like Shador he's played enough. He's played enough in college, and even though he wasn't as successful record wise, he can line up for you at some point in his rookie season, and you know that he can look around the field, and he knows he's been there to a certain extent. Um, so I just that was kind of surprising that they went that route. Um,
Well, even as, and again, I think it's a good point. Derek, you're talking about teams already had their positions. Some may have been looking for the future quarterbacks, like their quarterback's not going to come in this draft because they're not as talented as they may want. But then there were times though where teams like a New Orleans or the Raiders and just they
the,
kept passing on him.
the
And at some point,
Steelers,
I'm like, geez, like
the
just
Steelers still
draft him
don't have a
already.
quarterback. Look at the Steelers. They're
Yeah,
going to roll with Mason Rudolph and
like just
Skylar
draft him.
Thompson.
Well,
You're
then
back
they're
at
like maybe
Skylar
the
Thompson.
Rams because Stafford's getting old, but
How would you love to tell your Pittsburgh fan base, hey, you know what? Skylar Thompson's going to get some reps and OTA. Like
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson, he's not the CFL or the UFL or the what.
well, obviously they know that they're going to get Aaron Rodgers. So
There's another subject, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get. I thought today it's like, should the Steelers have a deadline for Aaron Rodgers? I was like,
Oh my
what is this?
gosh.
High school? Is
but
he
then
like a
again,
kid?
also
Like,
if you're the Steelers, maybe you're tired of drafting like 17 or whatever, and you want to have a bad year so you can get one of the top quarterbacks next year.
well,
I know the Steelers are just too good of a team to, I think,
yeah.
finish
Well, think
that
about
bad.
this. I think Arch might think about coming out if the Steelers had the number one pick, right?
Dude, you got to be bad. Like, it's like, hey, JJ Watt, why don't you go do something this fall? Like, why don't you be like, go somewhere with Aaron Rodgers for like the fall? You don't need to play this year, you know? I mean, they did draft defense. It seems like they're drafting like, hey, you know what? We want to retool instead of, you
Right.
know,
Yeah, and it's a little weird though when you think about their quarterback situation, right? And
they got
like I said, even the Raiders quarterback situation, because I worry about Gino as well, right? Is can he stay healthy all year or for an extended period of time? We don't know.
but
Yeah,
look at
but I mean, I know you're going to say, but Aiden O'Connell's an okay backup.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, he's won games.
well here.
Oh,
I think with by not drafting Shador, I think they're saying, you know what? We're going to roll a Gino, and if he gets hurt, then you know what? We're going to suck, and we're going to get Arch Manning. That's kind of what they're saying. Like we don't want a good backup. We don't want any like. Even though I think it's stupid because in this day and age, and I think teams are going to start getting this hint here. If you're going to have to pay so much of your the percentage of your salary to a quarterback, you might as well say, you know what? You're a rookie. You got 3 years. I'm not paying you. Okay, you either want to be part of this organization, or you know what? You want to get paid? You can go somewhere else. You got 3 years to get me to the Super Bowl, get me far in the playoffs, and then I'll pay you. If you don't, I'm not going to pay you. I'm just going to bring in rookies. That's why the whole
It,
Shador thing annoyed
it's
me. It's
not a
like,
bad strategy when you
no,
consider
it's a
how much
great
these
strategy because you
quarterback
not have to pay
contracts are.
anybody.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Except
pay
it's
Brock
impossible.
Purdy
It's not that
60.
good to find good quarterbacks, though.
But here's the thing. That's what the NFL and that's what's mind-boggling. Was like and even going down through how you're evaluating quarterbacks here. I mean, Skylar Thompson's in the league. Like, come on. Tell me there's not better quarterbacks out there than Skylar Thompson to be
Right.
your
But
backup.
what you're saying is that the Chargers should have got rid of Justin Herbert and then drafted someone else. But can you tell me anyone in this draft that's better than Justin Herbert?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, they freaking paid Daniel Jones. They played, you know, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they're paying. And
Yeah.
these guys are getting paid. They want to pay Brock Purdy. It's like now you have to pay him an obscene amount. I mean, you can even question paying Dak Prescott. He's the highest paid
Yeah.
quarterback by year. And the numbers are just stupid. It's like
Well, and his numbers aren't there as far as like his statistics are good, but his winning, he's not getting you deep in the playoffs. He's not
no.
getting you to Super Bowls. And so, yeah, I mean, then you start questioning, why are we paying him $60 million a year? So it's
They're paying him 60 million a year because Jerry Jones waited so dang long to resign.
Well, yeah.
well, it comes down to ultimately though, yeah, they gotta win, they gotta perform, right? And then that's when they should be getting their bigger pay, their contract. Um, and there are some people out there that have big contracts that I don't know that necessarily earned it yet.
Yeah, I mean, with Shadur, I wish the Raiders would have got him. But now, like you said, like Kelsey said, it's his time.
Yeah,
Prove everyone wrong.
right. And
Prove
it's
Mel
going to be
Kiper right.
interesting. We're going to hear a lot about it, right? And it's going to drive Wes crazy, but it's going to be all summer. It's going to be the preseason.
That's
It's
why
going
I
to
couldn't
be,
believe the Cowboys didn't draft him.
oh man, yeah, that would have been. They would have had their own reality show. But yeah, we won't stop hearing about it. But it'll be interesting, I think, to follow and see what happens with him. Um, I hope that he has that same mentality that his father has, which is, doubt me and see what happens.
Maybe they'll do over the summer. Maybe they'll do a reality show about Sanders' struggles in his fall, and then the book will be out
Oh
maybe
yeah,
for the start of the season, so we can all get primed for it.
completely. So I mean, outside of Shadur in the draft, obviously that's been the biggest buzz. Just kind of evaluating some of like you guys obviously know all the Raiders draft picks, evaluating different teams' overall draft, like how they did. Who are some of the winners for you when you look at top to bottom draft? Which teams did well, and then how did the Raiders do? Like, what did you guys think of the Raiders draft first?
Oh,
Really?
well, like Ashton Genty, that's about it.
Wow. I like the Raiders draft. I mean, they got a receiver to go opposite of Jacoby Myers, who's like one of the top hand catching receivers in back. They got Darian Porter, who's a freak athlete at corner, which fits Pete Carroll to a T. They got two offensive linemen. They got what Dante Thornton, who basically is an Al Davis pick in the fourth round. Dude's like a monster, and he runs a 4.340. So, and then two developmental quarterback, and a quarterback that I think they're going to switch to receiver. I think the Raiders did great. They had 11 draft picks. They filled a bunch of holes.
Yeah, they had a lot of picks, and they traded well too to get more picks.
Yeah.
Real time draft.
Yeah.
That probably helped them a little bit with Shadur falling. Was that everybody's like, who's taking him when they taking him? The Raiders just kept moving back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thornton, yeah, that was interesting. I mean, he's fast. And that's pretty much. Um, Beck, you got Thornton, and then you got Beck as more of the possession guy. Um, what because I was so annoyed by Shador talking. I love the draft. It's like one of my favorite things to watch because it's pretty positive for the most part. There's there's some good stories. I mean, just I could sit there and watch Saturday the third round on all day. I like it better than the first two rounds, and because you see all the stories.
Yeah.
But what's annoying is hearing the commentators, and I would flip it through all the ES. And it seems like every year the Raiders, well, you know what? He's a project. It's like, and you don't hear that with other teams. I'm like, I was listening. I'm like, is other team got a no? We need players to play now. No more project stuff. Like we need to win. I'm tired of like blowing draft picks. You know, but yeah, the more I look at it, they had a decent draft. The grade someone gave it A+ here
Yeah.
for Raiders draft.
I've seen lots of A's and then
Yeah.
like a 1B, but mostly it's good. Yeah, but Thornton, oh my gosh, dude, he's
6'5".
6'5"
Yeah.
and he runs a 4.340.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like
they
a
got two of the fastest guys in true Raider fashion. They drafted two of the
Yes.
fastest
Yeah,
guys.
Darian Porter, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and to Wes's point, Darian Porter, he is one of those projects, right? Because he's a newer, he was a receiver, originally. So then he moved to corner, and he still is really developing as a corner. Like we don't even know how good his ceiling is as a corner.
But remember, wasn't Brandon Browner like the same way when he first came out of college to Seattle?
Yeah, there's tons of players that have done it. Sure. Yeah.
But
I
I'm
mean,
just saying that it fits the mold of a Pete Carroll player.
yeah. He's good.
Um,
I mean, he's good though. Like he's good size. He's fast. He's 6'3". That's great for a corner. So
for
it's
as in like other teams, I loved. I can't, it's like it's sadly becoming like my second favorite team, and then they're still in the AFC, so it kind of sucks. But I love Baltimore's draft,
yeah. Um, Starks, I think, was great for them.
and then they got Mike Green in the second round, and
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, though, yeah. I mean, it was a good draft. I think they were definitely filling holes as well. They got what they needed. So that's what makes it a good draft, right? That's what makes you a B or an A when you're rating people's drafts. Like, did they fill the needs they had? Did they get players that have higher ceilings and are good or can start right now? Things like that. I like the Raiders draft. Yeah, I definitely think they're in that B+ range. Baltimore, I'd put them around a B. I'll talk about the Bears. Obviously, it's bittersweet for me because there was a lot of good players, and then there was questionable times to take guys. Uh, I'm not as mad with the Colston Loveland 10th overall pick as I was. It still doesn't make the most sense to me, but he's a good player. He's solid, and anytime you get a good player, you can't be mad at that, right? Love the Burton pick, man. I mean,
Yeah.
what a perfect fit for the Bears offense, coming in what they need. They really needed a good slot. They really needed somebody to energize the offense, and he's going to do that for them, even without having a lot of touches. So Bears overall, not the greatest draft top to bottom, but got some needs. I like Shamir Turner. So definitely got some good players. I'm still putting them in probably that C+ area, just because they're probably could have got better players.
when you say C+, it makes me think of the Christmas Story. C+.
I love the Christmas stories. That's a good movie. The Colts is one that I've heard a lot about, and so I kind of looked into their draft.
Well,
you're kind of lucky in that Tyler Warren falls there, or maybe he didn't fall. Maybe that's just where he was supposed to be picked. But what a great addition for them.
Yeah.
And then JT out of Ohio State. I hate saying his last name, but that the edge rusher, Tuimolola, Tuimolola,
Tolomo-
Lalu,
Tumalalu, something.
Lalu. Yeah, he's good though, and he's very versatile. And so I think that was great. And then I really like the DJ Giddens pick. I think he's a very underrated running back coming out of the draft because there was so many other good ones. He kind of slipped off people's radar.
Yeah, even though people are like, the value they, going up and giving up a first for Travis Hunter, and it, they will obviously, of course, they want, they want a player like Travis Hunter just kind of to put a jolt in the franchise so they don't move to London. Like everyone's like, okay, go ahead and move to London. You guys suck. I thought, that Michelle Tuden at running back, he's explosive.
Right.
They got Jack Kaiser. I like that pick up.
Yeah, the Kaiser pick is real good.
Yeah, it at where it was at. It's like they need players like that. So I thought they did better than I think people are kind of grading them as far as that's concerned.
But they did give up so much to that for that Hunter trade.
That's the problem.
That's, I think, what most people are questioning. I don't think when you look at who they drafted top to bottom, they did well. Like they got good players. But yeah, they did give up a lot of capital for Hunter.
They're on this grade. They got the Browns at a C. So
Well, the Browns, I don't think did horrible for themselves. I don't think Mason Graham
I
gets as
think
much
Browns.
appreciation as he should. I think Mason Graham, he makes a mess out of the middle, and that's what you need. You need a guy who's going to get upfield from the defensive tackle position, take pressure off of Miles Garrett, and so, but also look, they got the Schlesinger, he's really
Judkins
good.
and
And then
Sampson.
Judkins and Dylan Sampson, and
yeah,
then Dylan Gabriel, and then Shadur Sanders. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I think
would
they did great.
you couldn't have put those names on a piece of paper and handed them to a team and said, "This is who you're going to get in this coming draft." Back during the college football season,
Yeah.
that would have been nuts. If you would have said, "Here's the 8 guys you're going to get," right? And you'd have been like, "No way. What do I got? 8 first round picks?"
I mean, and then we don't, sadly, every year we have to talk about the Eagles.
Oh,
I mean, they got Jihad Campbell at 31, Andrew Mukabuba at 64. They got Ty Robinson, defensive tackle. They got another corner. They got Mondon Jr., another Georgia player. And then they got Kyle McCord.
best quarterback. Oh no, that's Will Howard. He's self-proclaimed the best quarterback. Kyle McCord's solid. I like him. But yeah, they do well every year because they know they like get the guys from Alabama and Georgia. Like that's where we're gonna build our team. So, but yeah, I mean, well, so the draft went well. I think there's a couple teams that we just mentioned in there that kind of stuck out. Did well. Our teams, I don't think had bad drafts. I'm not unhappy. Looking forward to the beginning of the season and getting that new offense going. And you guys, you got to be happy to see what Genty's going to do.
Yeah. And Wes, come on. Think about that. This is like, think of a history of the Raider drafts.
Right.
You got to be excited about this one at least.
Right. It's one of those times where you're like, man, they didn't just completely waste the
no,
draft again.
no, it's like the first pick. It's like you kind of wondered. I was like, I had a feeling they were gonna take him, but just because Pete Carroll, he wants to run the football. If you're just gonna go with Geno Smith, of course you got to get someone to run the football, and he's an explosive player. I was happy about that.
I was so scared because it was Genty for so long. And then all of a sudden, a few days before the draft, they're like, it's going to be Kelvin Banks Jr. And I'm like, no, no. At least give me Membu. Don't get a Kelvin Banks Jr. And I was like, dude. And Steve was over here going,
Oh man.
Genty.
The crazy thing is they probably still would have taken Loveland. Then
Yeah.
how mad would I have been?
And then, yeah, if Genty would have fallen to the Cowboys, oh
Oh.
gosh.
Well, yeah, we got a whole summer of talking about the Shaduer Sanders saga and going through draft
No, we
picks, things
don't.
like that.
We actually don't. We're actually gonna do stuff this summer. Like we're gonna go camping and stuff.
Well, we don't like the
The
world of
media is gonna talk about
ESPN and media has a whole summer of it. So, but we'll wrap football talk there, and we'll come right back with our weekly movie review.